Welcome to the Backroads Channel, folks. We're here at Lacey-Keosauqua State Park in southeast Iowa. It is the second oldest state park in the state of Iowa. And you're about to see the beauty of southern Iowa at its finest. We're going to show you some beautiful campgrounds, tree-lined areas, walking places that you're going to want to see. And also for the people who are in the fishermen in the family, this is definitely a place for you. Sit back, take in the scenery, look at the beauty, and you'll see that you'll want to come here and camp out with your family and friends right here at Lacey State Keosauqua Park. Right here on the Backroads Channel with Mark and Rich.
We're here with Justin Pedretti. He is the DNR conservation agent here at Lacey-Keosauqua State Park. Justin, you've been here in the park for quite some time now.
I have. This is my 21st year.
How did you get started here?
Well, I started as a seasonal worker at Lake McBride State Park up near Solon when I was in college. And this was basically my first opportunity to apply for, it was the park that was open. A position was open, and I applied, and I got it. So,
and 21 years later, here you still are.
I still am. Yeah, we love the park, me and my family, and the park has kept us here. The community has kept us here. You know, I'm from 3.5 hours away, so but we sure love Van Buren County.
We're talking about some of the things that you love best about this particular park.
Yeah. So the park is big, it's rich in history, it's got a lot to offer, so it keeps me really busy. And the community surrounds this park is great. We have a very large supporting from the community.
Now, the park as a whole, is there a favorite spot in the park that you really, really like? Ely
Ford is one of my favorite spots, I think. It's one of our most popular picnic areas down by the Des Moines River. The trees down there are just huge and magnificent. They, you know, just one of my favorite spots in the park, I guess.
And there's some history behind that location too.
There is some history there. That's where the Mormons crossed the river, heading westward in the 1800s.
So give us just a quick overview of the history of this park. How long has it been here? How long has it been a state park?
Yeah, so it was dedicated in October of 1920. So it's a little over 100 years old now. It was the second dedicated park in the state of Iowa, Backbone being the first, but it was only 3 or 4 months earlier than this one. It was originally called Big Bend State Park just because of the Big Bend in the Des Moines River, the geographic feature. It was changed in 1926 to Lacey-Keosauqua due to that man right there, the bust of John F. Lacey. He was from Oskaloosa area, and he was very influential in creating an Iowa state park system. So they decided to rename the park after John F. Lacey. The park was originally like 1,200 acres. There was a guy by the name of Edgar Harlan, was a local, who thought there needed to be more recreational land in the area in Van Buren County, so he sought out to try to purchase land to make into a park. I think it was, he was proposing like 200 and some acres originally, and they ended up with 1,200 and some acres that they purchased to become the state park. And then quite a few acquisitions in the past years have made the park 1,662 acres now, which used to be like in the top 5 largest in the state, but now it's like 7th or 8th on the list.
So what are some of the amenities in the park?
Park has to offer a lot, actually. Just for starters, we have 6 cabins just over there in a little cul-de-sac. They're popular. They're open from April 1st through October 31st. We have a beach. We have 2 lodges. The Beach House Lodge, which used to be the concession where people would have to pay to use the beach and they could get snacks, and that's been renovated into a lodge, so that's a day-use rental. It's popular for weddings and small weddings and little family gatherings and birthday
Graduation parties are held
Graduation
there all the
parties is a
time.
big one that's coming up next month.
Yep.
It's booked quite heavily. And then the main lodge, which is the historic CCC Stone Lodge at the West Gate, it's open year-round and can be rented day-use year-round. It's popular for the same exact things. Weddings, family reunions, and birthday parties, and graduation parties. We have 2 open shelters, Shelter 1 and Shelter 2. They're both built on the bluff above the river. They're not quite as popular as the lodges, but people frequently use them, especially on the weekends. You can reserve them ahead of time for a fee, or you can use them first come, first serve, free of charge if they're not rented.
How do people make reservations?
We have a vendor called Reserve America that they can call. It's 1-877-427-2757. Or they can go online to iowadnr.gov and then click under the Places to Go tab, and it'll take you to the Reserve America website. You can reserve online 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Talk about the west entrance just for a second. You alluded to a statue there. Who is that statue of?
The statue depicts a young man that worked for the CCC. It's a commemorative statue that commemorates the work that they done and the work that is still standing today. That was a Friends of Lacey project, and I really need to mention their role in this state park. There's a nonprofit group called the Friends of Lacey-Keosauqua State Park. They're very successful. They're a very great group to work with, and they're approaching almost $1 million what they have contributed to the park over the last 25 years.
Talk also about some of the events that take place in the park year-round.
Yeah, so the most popular one that comes to mind was what we used to call the Forest Craft Festival. It was the second full weekend in October. They call it the Scenic Drive Festival now. It used to attract up to about 8,000 visitors in the park in 2 days. It's been scaled down quite a bit since what it originated from, but we still have a very influx of people that come through the park to see the leaves changing. They camp. Fall camping is so popular nowadays. We have campers clear up till about the 3rd week in October pretty consistently. Some other events, we do have fishing derbies that take place down at Lake Sujima. Last year we tried an event called Chalk the Walk. It was where a person could come and register and pay a small fee to have a block of the new sidewalk that was created by the Friends of Lacey. That was a neat event. We had a bunch of artists show up. I think the first year we had almost 40 artists show up, and it was really neat. A lot of kids get involved in that. And the walk that I just mentioned is a concrete, a 1/3 of a mile trail from the campground to the cabin area. We should have thought of this many years ago, but there's a lot of traffic with bicycles and skating, scooters, families walking. We wanted to get them off the road and have a little bit more of a safety aspect to that. And it's been well received. People are using it year-round. Maybe someday we'd like to expand it and go either direction. It's been really utilized. So
I know there are times of the year where your campground at least is pretty much full. So
Yeah.
if people know when they want to come, what are you think are your busiest times of year for the campground? You of course mentioned the Scenic Drive Festival, but I imagine Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, they're all pretty busy too.
Yep, Memorial Day is probably our biggest. We range from 90 to 100% occupancy on every single holiday. 4th of July depends on what kind of how it lands on the day. That's hit or miss, but we're still very busy. Labor Day's a good one too. We'll be almost 90 to 100% occupied. The Scenic Drive Festival's been one of our most utilized in the campground too. Once again, we could be up to almost 100% booked on that, and the weather is usually really nice, so maybe you don't need air conditioning or maybe you don't need heat, so we get a lot of tent camping.
That's the time of year to tent camp if you're going to do it.
Yeah, September and October.
Definitely.
Yep.
What about hunting and fishing opportunities in the park? Any of that?
Not directly in the park. For sure fishing. We have Lake Lacey, which is about 30 acres. Gets overlooked a little bit due to the size of Lacey-Keosauqua, which is another DNR lake 2 miles to the south. Hunting, we don't allow any hunting in the park. We have had a special antlerless doe archery season, but we're no longer offering that. So, the park is a refuge then. But I will say that Van Buren County is known for its vast amount of undisturbed acres and public land. We have thousands of acres of public land for hunting in the county with Shimmick Forest. The county has quite a few acres of public land, and then the Lacey-Keosauqua recreation area. Those are all public hunting.
There's one other quick thing I wanted to mention when we were talking about the CCC in particular. Is there not a tombstone necessarily, but kind of a gravesite of a dog that's down there that had to do with the CCC at the time? Can you expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, there is actually. His name was Oscar. Supposedly it was a little mascot dog that the CCC had at their camp, and they brought it out to work with them in the park. From what I understand from the memorial rock that they have down there for him, it's down at the boat ramp at Lake Lacey. Supposedly that's where he was killed. It was an accidental. I think he got ran over by a piece of equipment. But yeah, it was kind of a neat little thing, that another little commemorative rock that the Friends of Lacey put together there. Originally, years ago, the CCC actually just hand carved a piece of cement there where he lays to rest. And years later, we thought, well, you couldn't hardly see it and you couldn't hardly read it anymore, so we had a professional engraved rock, and it's still down there. Some nice landscaping around it. So it's kind of a neat little story.
And a beautiful spot for it, to be sure.
Yeah, it is. It overlooks the lake.
Sure.
Well, folks, this is going to wrap it up for the Backroads Channel. We thank Justin and his helpful insights here at Lacey-Keosauqua State Park. Folks, you need to come and enjoy this place. I mean, you will be truly blessed when you come here to see the beauty and all the offerings that it has here. So make your trek here. They're here waiting for you no matter where you live. Come enjoy the scenic beauty, camp, boat. I mean, come out here and fish. I mean, if you're an angler, you're going to love this place. So come on along on our next trip, folks. I'm Rich for Mark here on the Backroads Channel. Your back roads to adventure.